Hello and welcome to the Astroenergetic Tapestry report for Monday, March 17th through Sunday, March 23rd, 2014. I am Starlene Breiter here with my astrological colleague, Wendy Villanueva. We are here to give some astrological advice about the energies present in the upcoming week. We are both professional astrologers. You can find me on my website at www.rocksstarastrologer.com. I also have another website that you can find me on. It's rocksandreiki.com. You can find my jewelry and crystals and other things there. So thanks for tuning in. And Wendy, where can we find you at online?
The website is at www.astrophilia.net.
Okay, great. So Wendy, did you want to start us off with like a little bit of an overview for the next week, and then we'll go in and start talking about Monday, March 17th?
Yes, I think this coming week will be exciting. It will be an interesting week because it is the week of the solstice. It's like the astrological new year when we start off again to the sign of Aries. And also it's the beginning of the spring, and I'm sure that there are so many people excited about this because it has been a particularly harsh, snowy or stormy winter in many areas, so it's at least some kind of relief soon that we will get to see the blooming of the spring soon.
So the first thing that I'm seeing for Monday the 17th is that in the early afternoon, we will be feeling like we would kind of question our philosophical outlook. We would have an emotional attachment to our philosophical outlook, and we would be questioning it. And it's something that isn't necessarily a negative thing. It's just something that we go through so that we can transition into the person that we are. So look for what things are you philosophically attached to? What things are you in love with and you like and you appreciate, and modify it if you need to, or get more into what you're into. So I think that's a good time to do that for the afternoon. I do think it's going to be a good thing. You know, I don't feel like it's going to be like, oh my God, you mean God doesn't exist? Not that, but it's going to be one of those where something comes up and you question yourself and then you move forward from it. That's kind of what I'm seeing for like the morning and the afternoon of Monday. Did you want to share something about the afternoon or go into the evening?
I totally agree with you. I think that it will be a nice exploratory terrain we're going to go on to on Monday afternoon, and I feel there will be a lot of sharing. It might be a really nice time with the moon in Libra to negotiate almost, or to share and weigh different kind of sides about the same idea. So we're not going to be necessarily attached to one thing being right. It will be more open up to understanding and listening different sides and maybe sharing it with other people. And this can bring insight to things that have been going on in our heads or our minds on areas we want to expand on, areas we want to grow on. So right after the full moon too, it can be a day where we are kind of active, communicating about things and listening to and learning more about different possibilities maybe we hadn't considered. I think the evening, later in the evening, there is a sense of maybe restlessness, maybe a little bit more of an erratic or kind of a surprise event or something like that. But it's all part of the same process of learning, that it might be an acute thing. And later in the evening, I feel that we might be we might feel very motivated and determined on our ideas, on our feelings. We might feel just like almost like a sense of purpose about things, that we know what we're supposed to be doing and we're ready to do it. Just kind of more in tune with ourselves and our past. What did you think about that?
I was also seeing in the evening how Mercury does make its transition into Pisces. That happens at 6:24 p.m. So all of those things that you were talking about, communication and really feeling determined towards something, when we think about it, and Mercury is our intellectual side of ourselves, you know, our communicative side of ourselves. It's about learning and understanding and exploring the things around you, curiosity, things like that. Moving into Pisces, some of us, you know, may feel uncomfortable with that mental Piscean energy, which is kind of watery and emotional, and some of us may feel very comfortable in it. If you're one of those watery people, you may feel really comfortable in it, and if you're one of those really airy people like I am, you might feel a little bit displaced. We've said this before, when any planet moves into another sign, there's always just a little readjusting that we have to go through. So that's something that does pop up. I think overall we'll have more intuitive impressions. I think that Pisces is generally speaking, one of the signs that is very intuitive and emotional, even psychic. I think that we might get that kind of feeling within ourselves while this transition is going on. This is kind of interesting time period for us in our thought process. That's kind of what I was feeling for Monday the 17th. The gemstone suggestions that I really wanted to tell you to work with, there were two. The first one is amethyst, because I think amethyst will connect you with the Mercury and Pisces energy, help you open up your third eye chakra. Very good for that. And I also wanted to talk about lepidolite. Lepidolite is also a really good stone for the third eye chakra, but it's really connected to the heart chakra as well. And it helps you to feel balanced emotionally. So if you're having one of those rough periods where you're feeling unbalanced emotionally, lepidolite is a great stone to have with you. So that's kind of what I was feeling for the 17th on Monday. Did you want to start us off for Tuesday on the 18th, Wendy?
I think Tuesday might be an interesting day with a certain degree of inspiration. It can be the kind of day with a little bit of an electric magic in the air where something unexpected happens that sort of connects us more with our own message, with our ideas. It could be a person we meet, like a random stranger who says something, or someone we meet that just somehow brings this kind of inspiration for something. It can be even like this love at first sight type of happening that just brings us closer to our idea on what we want to find in someone, for example. It may not be necessarily something that lasts, but the inspiration will be there, and maybe the message is what we need to keep with us, the message about it. Later on, I think we will feel like, later in the evening, we will feel like passionate to act on what we feel. And this might bring about, for some people, might bring about a little bit of bickering or frustration of some kind. But it could also be just a good time to exercise or to let extra energy out in some healthy way.
But yeah, I totally agree with you about the daytime. That was a perfect explanation of the energies that I was feeling for the daytime too. And the evening as well is, the energy that we might feel towards doing something. It might even be a good time to take an exercise class or do something like that, because I feel like we'll have a lot of energy. If it's not energy that we're going to expend physically, it might be internal energy. Mars still is in retrograde, so we might feel like internalizing that and working on a project or something like that we have been working on. The gemstone suggestions that we have for the 18th, the first one to work with in the daytime, which Wendy was talking about with the magic and things like that in the air, the possible, meeting somebody new and it's interesting and curious, is labradorite. Labradorite is the stone of magic, and I love that gemstone for today. And in the evening, if you're trying to rest and you feel a little restless, the gemstone suggestion for that would be black tourmaline. That would help you to feel a little bit calmer. But if you're enjoying the energy, you might want to work with red coral or red jasper. Both of those are energizing stones. So whichever way you're feeling, red jasper or black tourmaline would be good. So I'll start us off for Wednesday the 19th. The first thing that happens is that the moon enters into Scorpio. That happens really early in the morning at 5:13 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that brings us all an energy of introspection, an energy of communicating with our family, of our loved ones, getting to the bottom of things. Scorpio energy is very loyal. Don't cross Scorpio. A lot of people feel that they need to release things during the Scorpio time, things that are no longer working for them, and I agree with that, and also embracing things that do work for them. In the morning, I feel like communication will be very easily coming out. It will be very easy to communicate our thoughts and our feelings in the morning. I think that there will be a harmonious aspect for us. And in the afternoon, I also think that we might get a little in touch with some of our idealistic nature, some of the things that we wish to implement into this world to get us to progress to the future. So that's kind of what I feel for the 19th. What were you seeing on the 19th, Wendy?
I agree with you, Sarah. I think the 19th will be the kind of day where our thoughts and our emotions are on the same channel, so it's easy for us to feel on the same page, not like going on diverse paths between both of them. They're on the same channel, and it's on a more of an emotional note, the watery type of energy between Pisces and Scorpio. So it will be a type of day to emotionally sink in, merge with our visions and our ideals in many ways. I agree that it will be easier to communicate because we will be like we will be communicating from the heart in a sense, communicating in a more emotionally connected way. And the evening definitely will be an evening to spend in a way that we find to be like an ideal situation, something that can, for some people, take one shape, for some other, something else. For some people, it might be to watch a football game with friends, drinking some beers. For some people, it might be spiritual practice with build their own company or with their families. So it depends on what people are inspired with that make them feel like what's the ideal situation for themselves.
The gemstone suggestions for the 19th, because it is such a watery day and it is that kind of energy, we think that chrysocolla would be really good. Chrysocolla is one of those gemstones that are good to have on your body, like touching your skin, because there are trace minerals in it that will also help with the energy of the crystal, you absorbing the energy of the crystal and the trace minerals. Chrysocolla is also a really great stone for balancing your emotions. So either way you're feeling, good or bad emotionally, if the emotions are too much for you and it's rocky, or if you're feeling harmonious with the emotions, chrysocolla is a good stone for both of those purposes. So that's the gemstone suggestion for the 19th. And I also wanted to say, in my opinion, this is going to be a generally nice day for the last day of the astrological year, because tomorrow, the 20th, does start a new year for us astrologically. I think we should move on to the 20th. I'll start us off a little bit. The 20th is, like I said, the astrological new year. It's International Astrology Day. It is also the day that Sun enters into Aries and the spring equinox. So it's like a big day for everybody. It's almost like a turning point for all of us. We're given the opportunity to move our energies into a new direction and to follow suit in moving ourselves and growing into a new season. So the first thing that I do see within the astrological energies for the 20th is that the early morning we might have dreams that seem to take us other places. We might have dreams that feel expansive, and we might even be gifted with ideas or thoughts within our dreams. So maybe when you wake up, it's a good idea to write those dreams down, because I think we're going to be given a little inspiration in our dream state. And if you're not sleeping well on early Thursday morning, then maybe journaling anyway. If you're not sleeping and dreaming, go ahead and journal. If you are sleeping and dreaming, wake up and journal, because those are important dreams, inspirations that we're going to be given. So did you want to say something about the morning or maybe the afternoon, Wendy?
I agree with you about the morning. I think it will be an expansive kind of morning. Innerly, like our inner world will expand in some way, and the dream world is the perfect place for it to start to happen. And I think we might find in the morning, we might find some tangible application for it, so that we find some kind of healing and connectedness for it, like a good closing up or satisfying closing up for the astrological year before noon, or when the sun enters Aries at 12:57 p.m. So with this, the energy of the sun will be again like a big planet, like we've talked about previously, planet changing signs. In the beginning is like in between, so it might feel between water and fire and not quite knowing if we're hot or cold or how we're feeling, but it will get better as the sun moves forward. We might have later in the evening, we might benefit from spending time on our own, just having some introspective moments. It might be a good time to take notes about the closing year, what we left behind, what we're done with, and what we're beginning again. So it might be a good time to reconnect with ourselves and maybe meditate or find the deeper meaning that we're trying to tell ourselves before we start this new year.
I think that the evening time does give us opportunity to kind of assess what we have done in the past year and just begin to map out the next year to come. And I love that idea that you said about how we're expansive in the morning, because I think the expansiveness, it plays into it, and that we, are kind of given insight into those things that I just mentioned about stuff from the past and then stuff that we're working on in the future. So I like the 20th. I think it's a great day. Gemstone suggestions that we have for the 20th are Botswana agate is a very good gemstone if you feel inspired. Early morning time, it's easy to sleep with, so if you want to sleep and have those inspirational dreams, great. If you want to just hang on to it because you can't sleep and you want to just do something inspirational, or you are gifted, with ideas or thoughts in the early morning times, Botswana agate is a really great stone to have with you. In the evening time, a gemstone that I would suggest would be more along the lines of fluorite. Fluorite will help you to kind of focus your energy towards what it is that you were doing in the past and reassess yourself, and then what it is you want to, reach for in the future, So I think that's it's a good gemstone for today and a good day for the beginning of the new astrological new year. So Wendy, did you want to start us off with Friday the 21st?
Yeah, I think Friday will be one of those Fridays in which we really feel excited about it being Friday. The moon will move to Sagittarius close to noon, and that will feel really like an upbeat kind of day, like we feel more inspired, more outgoing, more pioneering. So I think it will be a nice active day in comparison to the previous days in the week. And the evening time might be a good time for us to communicate more or to journal, for example, to verbally put out there something of the inspiration we've been getting.
I feel like today is more of one of the fiery days. The sun did move into Aries yesterday, giving the fiery energy, and then the moon moving into Sagittarius gives another energy of fire. And I think it will be a day that we feel more active. I feel like our energy's been not as obvious as it normally is. It's almost something that we've had to work at, and I believe that's partially the Mars retrograde that we're in. But I think that this day will be a good day, and I do feel like even towards the evening, it might be interesting for you to explore areas of thought and of your mind and things that you wish to make happen in your life. It'd be a good energy for you to start doing that. The evening, even towards the later evening, what is it that you want to do? Like if you're not happy in the situation that you are in right now, or you're wanting to improve something or manifest something, this would be a good time for you to start, thinking about it and make it happen. I think that the energy there is giving a lot of fire to that, which is like initiation energy. So the gemstone suggestions for Friday the 21st that we have are labradorite, which is the stone of magic. It will allow some magic to happen in your life. And then also I would like to suggest fire opal. Fire opal is a really good stone to bring good energy, and the work with the fire energy that we were talking about was for going on for Friday, the very fiery energy. So those two stones are great for Friday the 21st. So that leads us into Saturday the 22nd. The first thing is that we are under the Sagittarius moon all day. In the morning time, I feel like it would be an active morning. We might feel like getting up early for a Saturday, that is. And we might feel like getting some things done. We might have some pleasant surprises too. So, get up early, have some fun. Enjoy yourself. I think that it's a pleasant day in the morning time. It starts us off pleasantly. Even if surprises come, they'll probably be pleasant and in the form of something that is good. The afternoon does also seem very relaxing, and we might just want to have a good time with family or friends. So this could be a good time to gather with other people, to have maybe, an extra relaxing energy, with other people. What were you seeing for Saturday, Wendy?
I feel Saturday will be a really optimistic day too. It seems to me like the morning might not be a kind of sluggish, getting up super late kind of morning, but maybe a kind of getting up rather early or being ready to go somewhere to do something kind of early in the day because we just are excited about life, kind of about exploring, about some kind of adventure. And I think it will just be a very optimistic day all in all. In the afternoon, it might be, like you said, very nice, like a sharing kind of day, sharing moments, sharing memories, sharing things we're doing, or either friends or family, or with something that we just really feel good doing. The evening might be a time where we really have an easy time to talk, communicate, or write about our visions, about our ideas, about our inspiration. It just seems to be handy and easy for us to express it. So it might turn out to be a really positive and optimistic day that makes us look forward to life.
I totally agree with that. I think that it's going to be a really nice day. I'm looking forward to it. And under the Sagittarius moon, I personally like to connect with my friends more or go out and explore a little bit more. That's me. Some people, of course, may feel under the Sagittarius moon that they're just more, wanting to stay home. They're not feeling like going out. But, either or. If you feel like going out, having fun, do that. I think it would be a great day to connect with other people. And like you were saying, communicating in the evening. The gemstone suggestions that I wanted to give, there were two. The first one I wanted to give for the morning is actually not a gemstone. It's a metal, and it's called pyrite. It's known as fool's gold, and it's really cool. It's a heavy stone, and it's really shiny. It does kind of look like gold or silver, and it gives a lot of good energy, like solar energy. So I think this would be a good day for any kind of activity, or if you're excited about doing something, carry a little piece of it with you, but not a big piece because it's heavy. And then in the evening, I wanted to suggest lapis lazuli, and for two reasons. Lapis lazuli is a blue stone, and it also has strains of pyrite going through it. So it's kind of two stones in one, but lapis lazuli is great for communication and clarity. So I think sometime in the evening, even though it's going to be good to communicate, we might have a little clarity to the communication. So lapis lazuli, hanging onto a piece of that or wearing it would be good. So those are the two gemstone suggestions for Saturday the 22nd. Yeah, for Sunday, so I see that our energies in the morning will feel very busy. We might feel like another one of those days that we want to get up and do something early in the morning, and it'll be a good feeling. If you're planting a garden or something like that, because that time of year for you, I know some of the northern people might start thinking about that kind of stuff in their greenhouses or whatnot. This might be a really good day to start that. I also feel like we would have an energy towards doing something that we really feel passionate about. So get out there and go ahead and do it. I do also see that in the afternoon, the moon switches signs to Capricorn. That gives us the stamina to keep going forward and to kind of have business mind work in that direction. And it gives us an earthy feel to the things that I work on. So that's why I said, maybe starting a garden or whatnot. This would be a good day to do that if that's what you do, that time of year, the type of thing that you do. What were you seeing for Sunday, Wendy?
I thought the same, that there would be a lot of energy in the morning, be quite as much direction, like one single direction to the energy as on Saturday. It might be more of a direction on towards all sides kind of thing, just not really in one, kind of not as focused. But later on when the moon moves to Capricorn, I do think we will feel more structured, more objective, and we might even be able to think about the ideas and our same more pioneering start of energy in a more organized way. So I think it will be an interesting kind of motivational day.
I agree with you. Yeah. I really like what you said about having just an interesting day to keep moving forward and do something that you enjoy would be the best thing, because you'll feel a happy, good energy. Like Wendy was saying, it may not be super focused or may not be as inspirational as yesterday's morning energy, but it will be good and pleasant. So it's something, just go out and do something like that, something that you like. So the gemstone suggestions that we're going to give for Sunday is, the first one would be working with moonstone. Moonstone comes in different shades, and the lighter moonstones would be connected more towards the moon energy and the connection of the feminine energy. And then it gets even to like a brownish color. I've seen black moonstone, and I've also seen a peach moonstone. So the black moonstone I would work at, they're all feminine, but I would think it would be more like the dark side of the moon, whereas you're working with those unseen energies and things like that. So moonstone might be an interesting stone for you to work with, kind of giving you a little insight into the directions that you might want to work on. I also feel like working with something like smoky quartz would be really helpful for the evening time or the afternoon time when the moon moves into Capricorn. Tourmaline is another good stone for that, but I like the smoky quartz would be a good one for this precession of Capricorn moon. So, yeah, that's kind of the gemstone suggestions that we have for Sunday, the 23rd. So this concludes another one of our Astroenergetic Tapestry reports for the week ahead of March 17th through 23rd, 2014. We hope that you enjoyed listening to this. You can check this out on the archives of CosmicConference.com, and you can listen to it there, or you can look for us on iTunes under the podcast. Just look for Cosmic Conference, and the name of this particular one would be Astroenergetic Tapestry for the week of March 17th through 23rd. We do this once a week, and we put them out on Sunday nights. And you can listen to them. You can follow along with our Astroenergetic Tapestries that we write. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/Astroenergetic Tapestry. You can find us there, and you can find me, Starlene, at my website, which is rockstarastrologer.com. I offer astrological consultations and other astrological things there. And my other website where you can find information about gemstones, crystals, and things like that is rocksandreiki.com. So, Wendy, where can we find you at online?
My website is www.astrophilia.net, and I'm also updating it, beginning to offer consultations too. And soon to come, maybe something about essential oils in a different website, but we will let you know more details as it comes to the foreground. Thank you so much for listening to us, and please share your experiences with these energies to all of you. And we'll see you next week.